welcome back to my channel. So recently I hauled this makeup item from Makeup Revolution. This is the Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade palette. Sound familiar? I asked you guys if you wanted to see not a tutorial, but more so just to see if this is a dupe for one of my absolute all-time favorite palettes. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. And this one is $48 and this one is $15. That's right, it is $15. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the differences between the palettes, then I'm going to do one eye with one palette, one eye with the other, and then I'm going to tell you guys my final thoughts on whether or not this is a dupe or a dud at the very end. So let's just get into the palettes to start off with. You guys know I love this palette. This has been one of my absolute favorites, go-tos for a very long time, basically since it's come out. So this palette is much heavier than what the Makeup Revolution one is, but it's also much more expensive. So on the outside here we have a raised, beautiful lettering. It is a cardboard box. It is a cardboard palette. On the inside we have a mirror and then 12 all matte shades that go from warm, neutral, and cool undertones. Over here on the Makeup Revolution side, we have the Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade palette. There's no mirror in this. It does feel substantially lighter than what the Kat Von D palette does, but it does come with a brush. Is this usable? Yes. Will I use it? No. But the Kat Von D one does not come with that. And then there are very similar, if not almost the same, exact same, all matte shade range in here, 12 colors. Also, I want to point out this little sticker that's on the outside of this. It says new formula talc free. So I don't know if their shadows previously had talc in them, if this palette was done previously and had talc in it, but apparently this is talc free. I'm sure you guys can see that these palettes are super duper similar, and even in the swatches, they don't swatch exactly the same, but they are super similar. And the only thing that I saw right off the bat other than the colors was definitely that this palette was a little bit softer and it blended out a little bit more like with each swatch, and that's the Kat Von D one, but not bad from starting off. I was thinking that this was going to be like dry or something. It's not bad. It's not bad so far. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go into this tutorial. Now this look is something that I have done before, but we're just here to find out whether or not this is a dupe, if it is pigmented, does it blend, how does it work, yada yada. I've got duplicates of my brushes, so I'm not using one brush and dipping into the other palette and back and forth, vice versa. Then I also went ahead and I primed my eyes using MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and then I set it with the Kat Von D, this shade right here, and then the corresponding shade in the Makeup Revolution, this one right here. This side is going to be the Makeup Revolution side, and I'm using a MAC 217, and I'm taking the orange top shade in the top right hand corner. I'm going to use this as a transition shade. So basically same shade, different palette. This is the Kat Von D palette. And you can see right away looking at both of these, this one is much more pigmented. So I'm going to have to go in on the opposite side and deepen it up a bit. I think I was able to get just about pretty much even with those. Same MAC 217 and the bottom left hand side. I'm going to go directly into the crease with this one. Same shade, Kat Von D side. So I feel like the Makeup Revolution side is just pulling a little bit cooler, and the Kat Von D side is pulling a little warmer with that shade. Chanel number 20, and I'm taking that reddened brown shade in the Makeup Revolution. Outer corner and then slightly into the crease. I do not feel that this is as pigmented as I think it should be. Same color, opposite side. This one is a tad, it's not a lot, well, yeah, it's more pigmented, but it's not it's not a huge difference. Oh my goodness. But I am going to try and build this one up just a little bit. There we go, that's better. Same brush, I'm taking the black shade. I'm just going right on this outer V. And that's surprisingly pigmented. That's pretty good. Kat Von D. I'm taking a MAC 242, and this is the matte white shade. I don't even know if it's completely matte, but I think it is. In the middle of the bottom of the Makeup Revolution, I'm just tapping that over the center. I'm pretty sure I've done this exact eye look before. Oh well. You can tell this one is more pigmented than the opposite side. I'm gonna have to dull this down a little bit or try and brighten up the other side. I'm using the other white from the palette and seeing if it's a little brighter. Yeah. There we go. Adding a bit more of that reddened brown shade. Red and brown on the lower lash line. And then a little bit of the black just on the outer corner here. Now I will say I'm getting fallout on this side, and I don't see any fallout over here, so just this side. Okay guys, so all I did was add on some MAC 7 lashes, and that is it. So what do you guys think? I'm so curious to know. Here are my thoughts. I am kind of impressed. I'm not going to lie. I really thought that this was going to be really stiff. It wasn't going to blend. The colors weren't going to be good, but it blended out very nicely. I had no problems with it. The only two things that I can really say about it are the colors are not as pigmented as the Kat Von D ones, and some of them are a little off. So like the brown shade looked a little bit more gray on my skin than what they did with the Shade and Light palette. But even though these weren't as pigmented as the Shade and Light, all you had to do is just kind of add a little bit more. It takes a little bit more effort, but honestly, $15 versus $48. Do I love this palette more, the Kat Von D one? Yes, absolutely 100%. I highly recommend this palette. It is one of my favorites. It is better quality than this one, but this one is, I'm going to call it a dupe. Almost said a dud. It's not a dud. It is absolutely 100% not a dud. If you do not want to spend almost $50 on a palette, I think this one's great. I think this is a great option. That's just my 2 cents. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!